All right, so who's your biggest risers, just in general, in the NBA?
Biggest risers for me would probably be Herb Jones and Isaiah Joe. I say Herb Jones because Herb Jones is probably one of a top 10 defender in the league.
Probably top five.
Yeah, at a wing position. And then Isaiah Joe is becoming one of the best shooters in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, on that stacked Thunder team.
Yeah.
Thunder have anybody. Two bench players, AJ Mitchell, Jared McCain, could be cornerstone franchise pieces for like the Kings, and no, they're just on the bench for the Thunder. That's one thing that just makes me so mad about the Thunder. They're such a deep team.
Deep teams go far in championship runs. So
That's true. That's probably why the Pacers crumbled.
Yeah.
Except never underestimate T.J. McConnell.
TJ McConnell had a really good series last year, so I give it to him too. And he's arguably a really good defender as well. So
I'd agree. Like, didn't he have like 11 steals in a game?
yeah.
Crazy. So who else do you think are big risers?
I think Andrew Nemhard is a pretty big riser for the Pacers. He's kind of developed into a second option for them, and he can do it all. He can shoot, get to the line, he can play D. He's pretty good.
One player who impressed me was Ryan Nembhard, his brother on the Mavericks.
Okay.
Kyrie was out. He stepped up like big. He had a 20-assist game towards the end of the season. I feel like he had a few double-doubles. Never heard of him before. I didn't even know Andrew Nembhard had a brother until this season. Kyrie was out because he tore his ACL, and I was like, who is Ryan Nembhard? I was like, did he get traded from the Pacers? Just saw Nembhard on the back of the jersey, and I was like, he has a brother? But yeah, who else do you think is like a big riser?
A big riser for me. Oh well, if you look at what TJD did, Trace Jackson Davis did when he was with Golden State, he kind of became the enforcer before Jonathan Kuminga got there. But he's also another riser I'd throw in there too. I think the Warriors had a really good back-to-back draft years that year with TJD and then Kuminga.
I agree. I like Kuminga. Sad to see him gone on the Hawks, but he had the thing about Kuminga, it's hard to rank him in the league. It really depends on the week, I think, because you'll have like a 2-week to a month stretch where he's like he should have been a higher pick, and then there's stretches where he has after that like he should have just been in the second round. But I think another big riser is Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
And this is hard to like say, but Tyrese Maxey was a 21st overall pick in 2020, and I couldn't tell you any other 21st overall pick in league history, but first round picks in the NBA aren't as valuable as a first overall pick or even a first round pick in the NFL. The NFL is like such a deep draft, 7 rounds, and you can get good players late. Like you see round 6, Antonio Brown, Tom Brady. Round 4, Dak Prescott. Like random things like this. Round 7, Kyle Monunga had a breakout season. GOAT in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think having somebody be 21st overall and become the 3rd leading scorer in the league, I believe he was. He averaged like 30 this season. And single-handedly being the best player on the Sixers and being able to perform and help the Sixers do good without Joel Embiid in, which is actually really important because when was the last time Joel Embiid's played over 60 games in a regular season?
I think when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to Kawhi.
That was semifinals.
Semifinals, yeah.
Because Joel Embiid has never made it to conference finals. Somehow.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think Tyrese Maxey's the best player on the Sixers, and he was 21st overall. I think that was definitely a good value pick. I'd also have to say Desmond Bane in the same draft.
Yeah.
Went 30th overall. When he was on the Grizzlies, he was like a legitimate 3rd option or 2nd option, depending on the day. because it was him, Ja, and Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., and they all played together, and they weren't bad. They did good, but they just really couldn't get any like further than what they did. And it makes sense. The West is so stacked. And Desmond Maine then gets traded to the Magic. Wasn't it for like 4 first-round picks? And those aren't even like low first-round picks. Those are like going to be mid-tier, higher first-round picks for a 30th overall pick. And anytime you talk about somebody rising and they like weren't as good as they were, or they're better than what they were supposed to be, you have to mention Jokic. Like 41st overall pick, I believe, in the 2014 draft, and he was drafted over a Taco Bell commercial. Who thinks that somebody who's drafted on the bottom of the screen during a commercial is going to be a multiple-time MVP and one of the best centers of all time?
That's true.
But you can't guarantee you have good picks. You can't guarantee you're going to pick the right player. So there's a lot of players who are disappointment. Exhibit A being Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. He wasn't a bad player, but he just did not translate to the NBA. He had a good rookie season, and I don't recall if it was like an injury.
I think it was his knee or his back.
And he just never figured out how to shoot in the league.
Nope.
Like he could shoot in college. He was a decent shooter, and that was one of the best things in his scouting profile. Like he could stretch the floor. He could shoot the 3-ball. And I don't even think he has 30 career threes. No. But also, I think of DeAndre Ayton. I'm not a big fan of him, okay? First overall pick in the 2018 draft, before Marvin Bagley, before Luka Doncic, before Jaren Jackson Jr., before Trae Young, before Jalen Brunson, before Shea. Mikal Bridges is better than him. I think you could have picked anybody else in that draft besides for most of the people in the second round and been better off. But he was a crazy prospect. He was supposed to have like the same type of rookie season that Karl Anthony Towns did. And he was supposed to be good. He was a stud in college. He averaged like 21 and 11 the year before he entered the league. And his projections were to be an all-star by season 3, and I don't even think he's made an all-star appearance, but he's been good in my opinion. Well, not good, but he's been getting better is what I should say.
Yeah.
But a little bit too late. You gotta think he's kind of figuring things out a little bit as it goes. The biggest question with him coming into the league was how he was going to be able to get used to the NBA offense and how to defend that, which was definitely seen. But when he was on the Suns and they went on that finals run, he kind of figured out how to play defense a little bit. And then the Suns let Giannis put up 50, and they completely collapsed. So that wasn't good, but you can't blame that all on one player. I would have loved to see the Suns win that finals, have Chris Paul finally get his championship, but he's retired out of the league now and no chips. But you also could say Marvin Bagley or the third, but I wouldn't. He didn't do as good as he was supposed to. I believe he was 18 when he entered the league, and it was really injuries that derailed his career. And he's really like a what-if story. And you see that so many times with prospects. Like you see so many what-if stories. I always think of Derrick Rose, Bulls player, youngest MVP, and Brandon Roy. Love Brandon Roy. Greg Oden. But some players just don't pan out. Who do you think are players that don't pan out?
My players that I have that don't pan out to me would be Killian Hayes. His game just never developed. He can't shoot consistently. Can't play defense.
Likes to get in fights.
Yeah, likes to get in fights. My other one I would have to say is James Wiseman. You take him at top 3, top 4.
I believe he was second. He was picked before LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, you take him where you do, and he just didn't pan out like everybody wanted him to. Really good high school prospect coming out of high school and went to the college level and kind of dominated there. But when he came to the league, I think his lack of muscle kind of derailed his further on, and he kind of got out of shape. His conditioning wasn't good. He just kind of fell off. Didn't fit the Warriors' scheme, and just couldn't beat out Kevin Looney.
I think that's one of the biggest things you see with drafting. Like, you can have this amazing prospect, you can have this good prospect, good player, but if they don't fit your scheme, how are you gonna? Because players are good at what they're good at. Okay, they're good at fitting the schemes that they can fit at, but the scheme is tailored to their strong suit. And if it's a good prospect, but your team scheme doesn't tailor to their strong suit, how do you expect them to be good? And I'm not saying that was necessarily the case with James Wiseman, but I feel like if maybe some of these players who you think are just busts, but they're like borderline, like they could have been good, if they had a team that fit the scheme that they're good for, that they could play for, that maybe they played for in college, and they were so good, maybe they would have been better in the league. But that's all a game of what if.
Yeah, you gotta think the league has kind of transitioned to big man kind of developing an outside shot. So he kind of fell into the realm of the game is shifting to you gotta be able to shoot the 3, otherwise you ain't gonna last in the league. And you kind of couldn't develop an outside shot. So they'll figure it out down in the paint. If you don't have a mid range, you just have a paint game. You're gonna get figured out really easy. And I think that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, I would agree. He was like Rudy Gobert, but not Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
If you think about it, he has like kind of like the same skill set. He just wasn't as talented or as good as Rudy Gobert is.
Another bust I have is you can kind of take it as a different way as what I would do, but to me, I have to say Obi Toppin.
Okay.
Obi Toppin, all he did in college was dunk, robbed Luka Garza back-to-back player of the years, in my opinion. But that's just me in college. Obi Toppin kind of came in the league as to me, kind of just a straight dunker. He was flashy, didn't have any defensive stuff, couldn't really play defense.
If I think of Obi Toppin, I don't think of him shooting the ball.
Exactly.
I don't think of him playing defense. All I think about him is dunking, being in a dunk contest, and that's it.
Yeah, a pretty bad dunk contest at that.
Speaking of dunk contest, what do you think about that Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon one?
The Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon dunk contest is probably arguably one of the best dunk contests since Dominique and Michael Jordan.
But Aaron Gordon should have won.
Debatable.
That's another topic for another day.
One more bust I have is Patrick Williams. I told all my buddies when we drafted Patrick Williams he was going to be a bust. The Bulls took him way too high, and he wasn't even projected to go where he was. Kind of struggles, in my opinion. He's got a good shot when it's there, but he just can't be consistent. Bulls organization has gone downhill, so thank God we got a new owner. We'll see where we go from there this year's draft with the number 4 pick. So hopefully it's someone good. A lot of talent in this draft.
Hopefully Caleb Wilson.
I would love Caleb Wilson in a Bulls jersey.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this draft. I feel like this has potential to be one of the best drafts. It's so deep. There's so much talent, in my opinion. I wonder if there's going to be any risers or busts in this draft. I'm sure there will. I feel like Henry Vassar isn't given enough credit, but also I don't know what he is exactly capable of when he's looked at more. The mock drafts that I've seen have him going to the Lakers, and I feel like that would be a good fit because the Lakers desperately need a center. Kind of like that one meme that's been everywhere forever.
Yeah.
Everywhere forever, pretty much. So,
I think Bennett Sturts will be a riser. I'm not just saying that because he's an Iowa guy, but I really think Bennett Sturts is going to be a riser in this year's draft because he's reliable. He played in every single game, averaged over 40 minutes per game. He can shoot it. He can facilitate. He's what you want in a point guard in today's game. He can get downhill when he wants to, but you know he's going to be there day in, day out.
yeah, that's kind of like your reliable guy. Somebody that I think might make a big jump to, maybe not a big jump, but I feel like can have a way more important role than what he's given credit for is Braden Smith.
Yes.
Now,
Smith.
Braden Smith is like projected 40th overall to the Celtics of all teams. And that's like the last thing the Celtics need is another guard who can shoot. But that's what the Celtics do. I feel like the last time I watched the Celtics game, which was in this playoffs, it was just pass the ball outside, shoot a three, and hope it goes in. And you see Peyton Pritchard go absolutely nuclear some games. But I feel like Braden Smith is like a copy and paste of Peyton Pritchard. That's what I'd think of him.
That's a great comparison.
Not like necessarily the best defender, but he can shoot the ball for sure. That's what I think. If I had to give Braden Smith a comparison, it's going to be possibly his future teammate in Peyton Pritchard.
I'll throw out a bust that people may call me crazy for, but I think this year, Darren Peterson is going to be a bust. Wild take, hot take.
You know, that is a hot take, but that's also something that I kind of agree with. I was not impressed with Darren Peterson when he played. You can't say, yeah, I watched the game, and Darren Peterson played almost the entire thing. Sitting out halves, just playing enough to keep his draft stock high is what I think he was doing. And I don't know how that's going to translate to the NBA. It might fit in with all the load management nowadays, but somebody else who I think is kind of a riser that you can't discredit is Kawhi. Because Kawhi was drafted by the Pacers, traded for George Hill on draft night, went to the Spurs. He won a Finals MVP. He locked up LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean, he made LeBron struggle. And then he goes, after the Spurs, goes over to the Raptors and wins the Raptors' one and only championship. And let's not forget about one of the most iconic shots in NBA history.
That's true. 4
bounces over Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Just saying.
That is pretty good.
And this season, he actually had the best statistical season of his career.
He did. He was playing.
Yeah, that's like crazy to think. He's in his 30s, 34, I want to say. That might be off, but he's, for an NBA player, being 34 and doing what Kawhi did, averaging like 28 a game, you don't see that. I mean, yeah. But that's all I have. Is that all you have?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. This is Airball Agenda. And make sure you comment below to see if you can guess the guest star correctly. Thanks for watching.